It's still August 12th. Just still putting stuff away, you know, getting settled in. Things are better. Like, you know, the space is like looking good, you know, hanging stuff up. But so I spent last night and this morning preparing just the videos for the rest of this week and the upcoming week. I don't know if I already spoke to this, to be honest with you, because I just recorded a video diary and I was referring to this, and there was this like, I specifically was just going to keep it as a video diary piece, but then I'm like, what if there's something else there, right? And just wanting to make sure it's documented. Because I noticed that I'm losing track of the video and diary entries. I haven't been categorizing them, so they're lost in the videos. So I'm just like, oh, I need to like find a way to, because there's more information in there for some of the experiences that I've had. So anyways, so there was just like this hole, I guess, to make it an actual video for posting. Go figure. So anyways, so the videos that I'm getting ready to post, it's leading up to that point in time when I'm actually coming to San Francisco. I'm like a week away, I think. Probably a good week of before I come to San Francisco, when all of this started, right? And I'm speaking to my waves. Mind you, I haven't had waves except the third day that I was here. I was counting it the other day. I was just like, oh, that was the third day I was here, because I moved in Friday, Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Was it Sunday? The new moon. Yeah, I think it was Sunday. The new moon ritual, because Monday. Yeah, it was Sunday. Because Monday was gonna start. It was my first supposed start day of work, but it was just to continue the trainings. Yeah, so it was the third day that I was here when I saw the waves. So I haven't, and since then I haven't seen the waves. Like, I just still more dream. It's more dreams than anything. And so anyway, so the videos that I'm preparing to post for the rest of this weekend and next week, I'm talking about the waves and having seen the yin yang symbol and this feeling of completeness and then getting caught up in the whole like I mean, I mentioned it in when I was writing out, because I've mentioned when I post my videos, like, I do a little write-up under the description box, you know, when it's something that I'm realizing, or if it's something that's unfolding in my real time, my posted timeline, right, that's connected to the video, right, because that happens a lot. And then sometimes just debriefing or just you know, whatever. So so I wrote it and I mentioned it there, that this sense of like trying to figure out why the different, like, when I would think about this person from my past and the good feeling that I would get, and the gold color from the top radiating, like, it was just warmth over me. But then when I met this new fire sign, the shift in the white, the white color that came after, you know, because I hadn't had that white color before, and I guess there's this continued theme. I completely forgot this continued theme that I guess the white light, a white purple shot or something, like it's still coming. I'm like, I forgot about that. Like, I'm so grateful that I recorded these videos, because you know, things just happen and I get in my tuturu land and I get distracted, and so I forget. And so so I'm talking about that and trying to find the connection, right, of all three, and then that I decided to go back to meditating, and then that I saw all of the three interlocking. So So I didn't. So I didn't mention this yesterday when I got back from the walk. I didn't share this in the video because I wasn't going to. I just, there's certain elements where I just kind of want to keep to myself. but then after I'm like, oh, I should have said that because it speaks to it, right? It speaks to this whole freaking experience that I'm going through, right? That I'm trying to put together, that I'm trying to figure out as things unfold. So I mentioned that on my way to the bookstore, I come across this shop, a guitar and ukulele shop that happens to be called Blackbird, and I didn't share the reference to that, and so here's a reference to it. So when I came to San Francisco to meet up with this fire sign, just to hang out, really, right, and to be in his presence, because that's what I talked about. I talked about like wondering, right, not knowing how I was going to feel with this other person, like in this person's presence, because I hadn't. I mentioned that I had only been in his physical presence once at the market, and then after that it was a Zoom date, and then after that it was just using the WhatsApp, like recording our voices, really, and leaving ourselves voice messages as a way to get to know each other. And so like, you're recording letters, if you will. Oh shoot, but that's my phone. Yeah, spam. But really, like so they're what was I saying? Okay, so just to figure out in his presence, right? Like, how do I feel in his presence? To see if there was a something different, right? Because I mentioned that there was a spark. There was a spark when I first met him, but I because I was too distracted with work, I didn't pay much attention to it, and then I wasn't looking for anything, so I just didn't pay attention to it. So when I came to San Francisco, I hung out with him, and we decided to. He wanted. It was a lovely date. It was really nice. It was really nice. It was just, I had a lovely time, and went for a walk, and then great conversation, and it felt good. Like, it felt. And he mentioned it too. He's just like, isn't it nice how it just feels like we're just picking up where we left off. And I'm like, yeah, it does. Like, it really does. And so there was this comfort, almost, like it was just really interesting now that I'm reflecting back on it, because I don't think I recorded on it. I don't know if I recorded on it. I don't think I did. I think there was an element of like me wanting to keep that for myself. But then after seeing these other videos and realizing, like, oh snap, like I never talked about it, and I'm questioning, like, how do I feel in front of this other fire sign, and never really following up on that. And so I was just like, okay, so there was this element of like, like it just I don't know how to describe it. It felt good. It felt good. It felt comfortable. It felt aligned. Like, I remember there was this urge to touch him. It was just, I just want to touch you. I remember that. I remember that much. Like, there was just this element of like, I just want to touch you. And that's what I remember. But anyways, so I remember having that urge. And just, we were trying to figure out dinner plans, and I was explaining to him, like, I don't usually eat out for these reasons, and So then we decided to eat in, like to cook together. And so I brought groceries and, you know, as a thank you for hosting me. And as we were getting ready to prepare dinner, he asked me what music I wanted to listen to. And initially I said synthwave because that's what I was listening to on the way back, on the way to San Francisco. And I mean, I was listening to writing music, but that came up, and then I was like, no, no, no. And then I said, I want to listen to Blackbird, the Beatles, Blackbird. And that song is just really meaningful to me. I grew up with it, you know, on lazy summer days, and just, you know, it reminds me of good times. That's what it reminds me. It's a great song, but it also reminds me of good times in my childhood. And my brother actually, I know it's the same connection for him and for my sister, because at my brother's house in the kitchen, when we're all just hanging out, you know, afternoon, sunny afternoon, you know, evening, mostly afternoon days where it feels nice outside, the sun's shining, and we're in the kitchen, he plays it for the twins, he plays it for the kids, and it's just, there's this home feeling to it, and it feels really nice. And you know, my sister will play it, and so for I honestly, I think without even realizing it, for us three, it's just, there's this connection to that song. And when I was in the kitchen with him, there was just this urge to hear it also, and so I was just like, I want to hear that song as I'm, you know, as we're preparing dinner. So that's the connection to this Blackbird. And this fire sign happens to play it. I think he plays the guitar. Yeah, guitar. And he plays the ukulele. He plays the ukulele. He actually played for me and sang for me, and it was really lovely. And so that's the connection. So as I'm leaving my apartment, right, there's this shop that's called Blackbird, and it's 4 guitars and ukuleles. So it's just like, so that's where it reminded me of this fire sign, right, as I'm coming back from where I went, like the marine time, I don't know what it's called, and I'm getting ready to cross the street, and there's like these flag poles, you know, where they have like las banderas, you know, like the banners of announcements or of certain schools, or when there's a museum that's being opened up, right? Like they have that set up. And I look up and I see one that says Salvador Dali, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding. And I'm like, I could have sworn that I looked to see if there was like a museum that was being promoted, and I didn't see any. I don't remember seeing any. I just remember seeing that one, and I just remember looking at it and just staring at it, and I was like, really? And just like just letting it sink in. And then acknowledging it, and then continuing to walk on. But I remember that feeling of like really, like there was this, not like this, like really, but it was more like really, like, okay, you know, like, did I get emotionally triggered? Not to the same degree as I have been before. Like in my video diary, I started tearing up. But actually, I started tearing up when I was talking about the Blackbird song, and my brother and the twins. Not so much seeing Salvador. So the connection with Salvador Dali is that this person from my past was very inspired by him, and the painting that I bought, the painting that I have, that I bought as I was going out the shop. He painted it. There was a stranger that was walking by as I was walking in my car, and he looks at it and he says to me, "That's a great painting." And he said, "It reminds me of Salvador Dali's work." And so that's the connection to Salvador Dali. So So this morning as I was preparing the videos, I see the one with the interlocking, and I'm just like, okay, and then I'm here, right? And then two triggers, if you will, or two things that just remind me of these two individuals. And I happened to reach out to my sister-in-law, and she asked me, she's like, have you reached out to this new fire sign? I said, no, I haven't. You know, for the simple reason that, one, I you know, he's, and I might have already shared this, I don't remember. He I think he's back from his trail. I don't know. You know, I'm sure he's needing to like readjust and recover and do his thing. But I am in the process of establishing myself here, and you know, reminding her that, you know, I didn't move out here for a boy. I did not move out here for a boy. I moved out here for me. And you know, like I want to establish myself here. I want to establish my routine here. I want to establish my life here. And for me, and not have it connected to a boy. Not a man, clearly, right? But I don't want to have to leave, right? If something like I want to establish me here. Without any other ties except for myself, right? Feeling whole and complete within myself. And it's funny because it's the video that's gonna post tomorrow is the beginning of that. It's that beginning of the completeness, feeling complete. I think it was what I titled it. Embracing feeling complete. So I wonder if that speaks to just my feeling right now. If I feel whole and complete. Like I don't. These triggers that are coming up are not as intense. You know, they're. It's just like this awareness. Like, okay, you know, and it could still be part of my healing, right? It's okay if it is, right? Okay if it is. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Okay. I feel good here. I'm getting stuff done. I'm getting established, and you know, see what comes next. So I just want to share that connection, and cause I didn't share it before, and I mean, I don't know if it's important. I don't know if it's relevant. I mean, if it's anything at all, it's relevant to my healing. You know, that I'm healing, and that I'm feeling whole and complete on my own, right? That I didn't chase a boy here. You know, like I'm very adamant about that. I want to establish my life here. So this fire sign, I mentioned that I was gonna figure it out. I don't think he knows that I don't think I told him that I actually moved. I told him that I wanted to move, that I had 2 months to figure it out, and that this opportunity came up. But I think what he knows is that September. So I don't think he knows that I'm here. And I'm okay with that. Like I don't think I want him to know that I'm here. You know, and if, you know, and I mentioned it to my sister-in-law, I'm like, if our paths cross, right? You know? And if not, I'm okay with that too. Like, that was a lovely chapter, and you know, whatever that connection was, and if that was all that it was, then that's all that it was. I mean, it'd be nice if it were a little more. But I'm not desperately seeking it. I'm good where I'm at. I like this. I like my space. That was all. It's 4 o'clock. And they're finished. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and